Computex 2025，去年我因为在做该死的专题，所以错过了。今年一定不能缺席。给那些不知道 Computex 是什么的人 ，Computex 台北电脑展，简单来说，这是一个全球最新科技集结展示的地方。不管是 AI 科技、各种显卡硬体，或者是最新的外设周边厂商，都会在 Computex 展出，算是一个指标性的国际盛会。去年我爸是在这边被媒体捧成神的。Anyway， 今天是我第一次参加 Computex。本支影片特别感谢 MONTECH 君主科技的帮忙，让我有机会进来折一圈。如果对机壳有兴趣的朋友，可以看看本片君主的段落。再让我 murmur 一下，这次值得一看的新品真的太多了。目前的构想是分成这部加上一部 podcast， 没办法，这两天的收获真的认真太多了，不管是物理上的还是知识上的，建议两部一起使用。然后，因为我超不会 vlog， 也没有准备3轴之类的工具，画面有够抖，然后也有跟工作人员聊得太开心，画面直接拍地板的情况，搞得很像我来偷拍。我会尽可能用一些画面补掉，就请各位见谅咯。OK， 所以这次我们主要拍摄的摊位有以下几间 ：ROG、君主、Wooting、IQUNIX 还有 Ducky。那剩下的摊位呢，其实我有兴趣的地方都有走一遍，但是因为内容太多了，所以我们就留一点给 Podcast 讲。然后，这次会抽出2条 Wooting 展场限定的飘带，抽奖方式我会藏在 Wooting 的那个段落里面，那一段特别精彩、特别精华，一定要看完。那我们开始吧。ASUS ROG 永远有最大的摊位，今年也是相当浮夸。那我们首先看到外设周边的部分，首先是 ROG Fractal 70% 配列分体式键盘，可以调整成类 Alice 帐篷角度，无线8000赫兹加上 ROG HFX V2 磁轴，据说是研发了全新的霍尔感应器和晶片，支援 0.01 的精度。摊位现场也有一颗超大轴体可以让你体验。键盘左侧有一颗滚轮和按键，可以设定多媒体功能，基本上都是新版的 3Scroll to 右上角内组，加上魔导式上面那条。键盘前方依然有保留 RT 模式和 Pro 模式的实体开关，这个拨起来真的很上头。键盘背部目前看起来比较工业风，有可拆卸式的脚撑，应该可以调整角度，这把的可玩性应该也是挺高的。现场也有展示一部分的内胆和背面结构，我觉得这把还蛮值得期待的。ROG Harp 2 Ace 对称外倾滑鼠，和瞄准恶魔 Demon One 合作研发，那一晚和喝醉了。这一代涂层更换成类皮革漆的材质。有点像 Viper V3 Pro， 但是不太一样。形状和前代相比差异挺大。第一印象是有点像 Viper 加狗屁王，但是印象有点模糊了，你们就先当我喝醉了吧。微动手感优秀，没有上一代那么硬。侧边的防滑条也都移除了，得正。整只滑鼠48克，8000赫兹回报率，支援3模连接，鼠角也变成大片的了。整体体验极佳，有机会角逐年度最佳滑鼠。这只我避开。这次 ROG 给我一种蓄力很久，准备来个大的感觉。Fractal 突破了无线磁轴的性能瓶颈。运用在之后的产品应该也是迟早的事情哦。不过价格呢，我忘记问了，你们应该有点心理准备了吧？后续感觉还会有一波大的。滑手部分呢，是我最期待的，这一次真的很有料，而且还有我大魔哥加持，真的是 how to lose。接下来到鋁厂 IQUNIX 的摊位，大家比较熟悉的应该是 Easy 系列的磁轴，这次还有看到还没发售的 Easy 75，还有非常多配色的 Easy 65。这款粉色版键帽的下缘还有特别的弧度哦，非常特别。另外还有最近发售的 Easy 80，这把质感非常的不错。外形一样延续 Easy 系列的金属拼接风格，这款的配色是黑武士，阳极非常的丝滑 ，RT 性能支援到 0.005 的夸张数值哦，各项数据基本上都是拉满的。这把键盘呢，最近也会在本频道登场，可以期待一下。摊位上还有尚未发售的无线合金滑鼠 Q101，背部镂空的设计很特别哦，并且可以更换背板，微动按起来的手感巨爽，很清脆，未来应该有机会也会关注一下它。现场还有很多磁轴以外的套件哦，我比较有印象的是 MQ80， 一款矮轴键盘，按起来意外的舒服哦，键帽和设计也非常有质感。那 IQUNIX 的驱动呢，我个人觉得非常好用哦，相信在偏生产力的套件上表现应该也非常不错。未来有机会的话呢，说不定我们也可以尝试看看。总结，鋁厂品质牛逼，滑鼠值得期待。然后后续影片会有对 Easy 80有更详细的介绍，大家可以期待一下。接下来是我觉得摊位设计最好看的厂商 Wooting。这次他们大概是全场送最多赠品的厂商哦，他们直接送我和星野2个人满满的一大袋东西。Wooting的工作人员真的超级友善，也特别感谢 Mark 和我们聊了很多产品的细节和愿景。接下来有收录 Mark 亲自展示60HE V2 的设计细节以及产品开发时的理念，是本片的精华，请务必看到最后。
So this here is our new 68G V2, the second iteration of our most popular keyboard. The first version, we proved to the world that we know how to do latency, that we know how to do gaming, that we know how to do software compatibility, stability, those sorts of things. What we want to prove here with the 68G V2 is that we can also work in the keyboard hobbyist space. So doing things like working on the sound profile and the type feel and improving the overall experience. So with this, we make the modding extremely simple. Pull that one keycap out, and we can remove the PCBA just like that. And then this has all kinds of information about your keyboard, about how it works, about what the different parts are, but importantly, this is printed on a tape mod. And so it comes already with that, and that improves the sound. In addition, we have these silicone pads right here, and these will match with the standoffs on the case. So instead of having a screw-in tray mount, which gets very hard on the fingers when you're typing like this constantly, this is a much softer feel. And for a long gaming session, it'll allow you to not get fatigued and not get your fingers hurt. In addition, we've got 3 different kinds of sound dampening in here. So this is our silicone pad. We also have a Poron pad, and if you see in there, we've got an EPDM foam. Between the 3 different sound options that we have here and how easy it is to take the module out and swap it around and put it back in, we want to give customers the option to get the sound profile that they think is best. Because it's so subjective, because there's so many different ways to have the best sound, we want to give options. So with that, you stick the module right back in, and you're good to go. So you can see here, it's got that closed bottom. That's going to improve the sound profile of the switches. And even for years on end, if you do a custom lube job, that lube's going to stay in there, and it'll stay nice and smooth. More than just that, in an industry first, it has the full 4 millimeters of switch travel. So we're extremely proud of this. We think that it sounds great. Feel free to get your hands on there and see how it feels. So we've been making improvements to the switch. And once we're ready to go for mass manufacturing, it's going to be the best switch that we've ever made.
Right.
More than that, we've got a couple more kind of just quality of life features for this keyboard. The first one is, so the 60HE comes with that IQUNIX strap, right? We have this option here. We have a couple of different options as well. So this version for a more shiny option. We also have, for both sides, we have a version that doesn't have any strap attachment at all. So if you want the strap attachment, you can have it. If you don't want it, you don't need it. If you want to have 2 straps, you can do that too. And then the last thing that I want to show you is one piece of feedback that we got from our customers is that the wrist rest, it would move around while gaming. This time, we've created a lip on the underside of this keyboard and a matching lip here so that it can attach to the keyboard. And if that's not your style, you can just remove it just like that. And then that slots in just like that, and then they move together. So a lot of the work that we put into this keyboard is small changes, little tweaks here, some quality of life improvements, some different materials here and there. Our goal is to make this the best sounding, the best feeling, mass manufactured keyboard on the market. The big knob and the small knob. What I love about these two is that they are fully hot swappable, which means that both of these knobs, you can pull them out and you can put them anywhere on the keyboard that they will fit. Now for the big knob, the 80HE, that's only going to fit in that one spot because you need the 2x2 square to be able to make that happen. But the little knob, that can fit in any spot on the keyboard. And if you have a full-size keyboard, like our Lecker edition over here, then you can fit that big knob in many different places on the keyboard. Not only are these hot swappable, they're also fully programmable. So you can do things like you can change your volume control, you can switch your keyboard profiles. Once we have the background service up for utility, you'll be able to hold the FN button on your keyboard and then have a knob on your uwu and be able to change the settings between the two keyboards like that. And then I hinted at this, but that uwu that you guys both have in your bags there, that will be able to use this 1U knob. So it's fully backwards compatible with all of the recent keyboards that we've made. There's some limitations there that not every single keyboard we've ever made can do the knob, but any keyboard that has an ARM processor can use it.
I can make a keyboard that's full of the knob.
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
Make it like a new controller.
Yeah, so the full-size keyboard has 104 switches on it. You can replace all 104 with knobs if you wanted. And it would be a terrible typing experience, but you could do it. It will work in theory.
So we still have the
Yeah, so both of our knobs, in fact, they have 5 total functions. They've got the clockwise turn, the counterclockwise turn, they've got the press, and then they've got the press and turn, both counterclockwise and clockwise. And that's going to be for both of these.
nice.
Absolutely. And both of them are an infinity spin type of knob. So not only is it that you can rotate it a little bit, but you can just keep rotating as long as you want.
You can set like rapid trigger distance. Like,
So the way that the knobs function is using magnets and the Hall effect sensor that is underneath the PCBA that is reading the magnet position. It has to do an incredible amount of firmware related manipulation of that magnet reading. So in theory you could apply rapid trigger to it, but the way that it works on a technical level, which I'm not really allowed to get into, but rapid trigger wouldn't be effective on that. I can't bring them out, unfortunately. They gotta stay in the lock case for now. But we expect to get these on people's desks in their keyboards sometime in the first couple of months of 2026. So it's not all too long now. These knobs have been in development for like 2.5 years, even longer now. So we've been working on them, and we've been trying to get them to meet our quality standards. They are now there. They are what we have always hoped them to be, and we can't wait to get them into people's hands. Now it's interesting. So we're at this the Computex show, right? There's tons of manufacturers around, and we've had more than a few that have been coming over to really ask some extremely in-depth questions of how does it function, how does it work, and we're trying to play a little bit coy and not give all too much away, because some of these manufacturers will understand the idea and try to implement their own version, but they're not going to spend 2.5 years perfecting it, right? They're going to make something that works kind of okay, sort of, and then get it to market as fast as they can to try to just get sales with it. And that's not our strategy. So we've been holding on to this, keeping it tightly secret for more than 2 years now. It was originally supposed to release with the ADHD. That was the original plan. But at that time, we weren't ready to show it to the world. It wasn't ready yet. We decided, you know what, let's leave it in the oven, let's keep it cooking for just a little bit longer, and then that little bit longer turned into 1.5 years, because every time we're like, oh man, it's great that it works like this, but what if we did this? And so we keep iterating, we keep improving, and now we're finally ready to say, yes, this is the product that meets Wooting's quality standards. It's going to have if you get a keyboard with it that's pre-installed, that warranty, 4-year warranty is going to come with it. I mean, we're thrilled, and we're really proud of these knobs.
Will that be sold separately? Or?
Yes, they will be sold separately. So if you've already got a Wooting keyboard that has an ARM processor, so any keyboard that we've sold in the last like 3 years, including the Wooting Ulu, including the 68G V1, as well as the 68G Plus, and all of the ADHD keyboards, you'll be able to get these knobs separately, and it'll just work on your keyboard.
Thank you.
Once we get them out into the world and we're shipping it to customers, we know for a fact that there's going to be manufacturers that are going to purchase it from us and either pretend to be a consumer or just as the manufacturer. They're going to reverse engineer it, and they're going to figure out, okay, how does this function? How does this work? We hope that there's going to be some manufacturers out there that do that reverse engineering, and build a product that meets our same quality expectations, but that has some kind of different flair, a different take on it. So, for example, we've got these 2 knobs here. They're both black. Maybe you'd want a white knob, or a red knob, or a green knob, or a knob that's shiny, or a knob that's shaped a little different. It feels a little bit different. Our hope is that once we're ready to really rock and roll with these, that other manufacturers will be able to make their own versions of it, and that we can start to build an ecosystem of parts that you can modularly swap in and out of your keyboard that uses our PCBA, our firmware, our understanding of these magnets' interactions with the Hall effect sensors to build the best possible experience for consumers.
That sounds like a big 那个怎么讲？那个生态系
ecosystem.
Yeah, and critically for us, it's not about locking down the ecosystem to just Wooting stuff. We want to support the modding industry in general. So when we say challenge the industry, it's not just like Apple would create products that only work for Apple. That's not our jig. We want to challenge the industry by driving it forward and bringing the best possible technology, innovation, and products to people's hands. Yeah, absolutely. So it's an exciting time to be in the keyboard space. I absolutely believe it. We pioneered the Hall effect keyboard space to start with, and we're not slowing down. We're not stopping. We're just going to keep rocking and rolling and developing new and amazing new products to bring to folks. Yeah, well, yeah. This actually, I found this in a cafe, or not a cafe, excuse me, in a shop in Taipei here. They were selling it as keychains. This was their little keychain piece of it. And I said, oh man, I gotta have it. I have a black cat at home. Her name is Dali. In fact, a picture of Dali is on every single 88G PCB. It's one of the icons for the PCB. Yeah. So my cat is on that keyboard, on all of those 88Gs over there. And so I finally got a custom strap that I'm going to bring home and put on my 68G so that I can celebrate my cat as well.
And usually the cat will start to bite the strap.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what? It's hers. So if she wants to play with it, she can. And actually, I got this from Height as well. This is 100% going to be a cat toy when I go home. She's going to love this. So I'm pretty excited about it.
当下我们跟 Mark 聊完，其实我是蛮感动的哦。Wooting 真的是一个花很多时间把一个产品打磨完整的公司，即使完成了，它也不会急着上市，而是投入更多时间思考，还有什么地方能让它变得更好。即使市面上现在充斥着演都不演的盗版设计，他们依然希望产品发售之后，这些竞争者可以学习技术，一起让磁轴的产品生态系更完整，让业界变得更好，而不是一味的抢快赚快钱。Wooting 真的是一间很有料的公司哦，让无数厂商跟进，让自己的设计被不断致敬。你可以说它的性能不是最好，它的价格或许不是最卷，你甚至可以把它的设计整盘端走，但你无法拿走的是他们的核心精神。Challenge the industry 不是说假的哦，多一点人有这种想法，才能让这个业界进步。归根究底，为什么我今天愿意讲到这样？除了我很认同他们的理念以外，因为我实际体验过他们接下来要发售的产品，真的很有料。我只能说，让他们煮。OK， 那今天会抽出2条Wooting的飘带。抽奖方式是按赞、订阅，然后在留言区分享你观看这部影片的心得，越详细越有机会。那我们回到影片，翻车了，还是翻车了。我的麦克风在君主的摊位完全挂掉，君主的人员很认真的帮我讲解，然后整段没声音。机壳并没有在我的手背范围内哦，所以我们先从键盘滑鼠开始讲好了。君主这次推出了全金属外壳的70% 键盘 XKey， 目前还在研发阶段，展示的是原型机。它的 RGB 非常的亮哦，正面和左右都有灯条，可以透过组合键和旋钮调整 RGB 亮度。左侧也有做一个指示灯。这把键盘据说会搭载君主自家研发的轴体，展示机按起来非常不错哦，大件预润也没什么杂音，而且君主的定价应该会相对比较友善，就看到时候实际发售喽。现场还要展示尚未推出的原型滑鼠 M Grip， 展示的呢是塑胶模型哦，实际生产会使用镁合金制造，而且居然也不约而同的做了可以更换背盖的设计。如果不喜欢过多的打孔设计，可以把背盖换成平整的表面。现场模具的握感呢是十分不错的，而且也不会太大。个人相当期待这只滑鼠哦，想看的欢迎留言。接下来是机壳的部分，这块我真的不熟啊，感谢君主的 Ruby 帮我详细介绍。现场看到了很多我这辈子都没看过的机壳设计，比如在侧面显示风扇转速，甚至可以直接手动调整的开关。Montech Air 2000， 3面玻璃曲面侧透的 HS02 3D， 展示机整台全白，真的有够美。还有自带隐藏显卡支架的 X5 系列。那整个展场呢，我印象最深刻的是以下2款。首先的呢是 Sky 3 Glass， 2面超大片玻璃加上底部的 RGB， 真的有够骚。底下的风扇采用倾斜设计，让进风量提升，并且能够和电源模组的位置交换。黑色版真的是帅到没边，突然有点想组电脑了。最后一款呢是 Ten， 是日文点的拼音，体积很小，侧板采用网孔设计，顶部和左右的侧板都可以拆卸。里面也塞了下圈子寸电源、塔扇，加上顶部3颗风扇，底下双风扇显卡组合，支援多种排列组合。底部还有一圈 RGB 哦，低调有型，有对到我的审美。未来有机会的话，或许可以尝试看看。OK， 那以上就是君主的摊位。抱歉各位，我拍的真的有点鸟哦。资讯栏有放几位对电脑零件比较专业的创作者，对机壳有兴趣的朋友也可以参考看看。 OK， 那最后我们来到 Ducky 的摊位，首先看到的是10年限定款的 Tinker 75，这套键帽实际颜色挺漂亮的，字符也设计成图腾的样式，品质摸起来还蛮不错的，包装盒的设计也非常漂亮哦，有一种礼盒的感觉。接下来呢，帮各位上点油度，这次 Ducky 和 Hololive 联名推出了花鼠电焊键盘，选图非常可爱哦，印出来品质也非常好，但可惜我并没有追这2位 V 哦。键盘的部分为全尺寸配列，加上主题 PPT 热升华键帽，我想大概是不会单卖吧。键帽很好看，有很多小图和细节，不过目前还不是最终定稿的设计。整把键盘的颜色搭配很好看，听说好像是全球限量1000台，如果有爱的话可以多多关注。那最后呢，是我觉得今年 Ducky 摊子最有料的键盘 Cushion 98，紧凑型98配列，无线3模，搭载滚珠快拆加上磁铁的设计，非常的好拆哦，我用单手就可以操作。这把键盘的 mounting 方式很特别哦，整个内胆被一大块细胶包围，打感印象中应该是偏软的，键帽手感也和前面2款不太一样，不过品质依然很不错。另外在展场也有看到 Computex 2025限定款的 One X 哦，整个底壳都是压压，这空白键真的是有够闹的，超好笑。而且这个黑黄渐变其实还算有点帅的哦，有点东西。那这次 Ducky 带的摊位其实挺大的哦，还有像是 Angan Gear 之类的厂商没有带到，这点我们就留到下一步吧。然后要到后面呢，有免费啤酒可以喝，这才是重点啦，各位。哈，18岁终于可以喝了，不得不说，还真的蛮不错的，也算是为今天画下了美好的句点。这次 Computex 的内容真的太多了，因为篇幅关系，有很多东西真的来不及讲啊，大家记得一定要去听 Podcast， 拜托。我会尽量赶快生出来。那以下呢是简单的内容预告，我就放几个关键字在画面上吧。我甚至觉得 Podcast 内容可能比本集还要精彩，那各位就到时候见啦。最后，今年能够来到 Computex 真的少不了各位的帮助哦，特别感谢 Jimmy、君主、老猫、星野以及阿米洛的各位，还有荧幕前的你各位，这场旅程真的收获满满哦。我也非常推荐大家未来可以去看看 Computex 的最后一天，不止赠品拿到手软，还可以看到各种尖端科技，绝对赚。那再次感谢所有帮助过我的人，也感谢大家今天的收看。如果还想看更多类似内容，别忘了按赞、订阅、收听，感谢。那我是Dulin，我们下部影片见。